hear the word space race, your mind probably jumps straight to the Cold War, right? The US versus the Soviet Union. But that race, that's ancient history. Today, a new rivalry is heating up, and the main players are redefining what it means to be a power in the 21st century.
So, if it's not the US and Russia anymore, who are the big players in this new contest for the final frontier? Well, the answer is reshaping the power dynamics across all of Asia, and honestly, the entire world.
Yep, you guessed it. We're talking about the two most populous nations on Earth, India and China. They're taking their long-standing rivalry and blasting it into orbit. As this analysis from Schwartzman Scholars puts it, space is the new battleground.
Now, to really get what's going on here, we're going to zero in on India's game plan. And it's pretty clever. It's this dual strategy. They've got a powerful stick, but they're also offering a really enticing carrot. Let's break down that stick first. All right, let's start with the stick. This is the hard power side of the coin, where India has developed an absolutely formidable capability. And it's not designed to build things. It's designed to destroy things in space.
The weapon at the heart of this strategy is something called an ASAT, or anti-satellite weapon, and it's exactly what it sounds like, a missile built to hunt down and take out an enemy's eyes and ears in space, basically blinding them when it matters most.
Now, this didn't just happen out of nowhere. You can see a clear tit-for-tat playing out. Back in 2007, China conducted a test that really shocked the world. They blew up one of their own old weather satellites, creating this massive cloud of space junk that is still a threat up there today. That single move lit a fire under India, which immediately set up its own military space command. And that journey ended 12 years later with their own successful test.
And that test was called Mission Shakti. Now, that name is a huge deal. It's the exact same code name India used for its 1998 nuclear test. So yeah, they were sending a message. On March 27, 2019, they officially became only the fourth country in the world with this satellite killing capability, right alongside the US, Russia, and China.
So how in the world did they pull this off? I mean, this is some seriously impressive stuff. First, a huge radar on the ground locks onto the target. Then, a three-stage rocket launches what's called a Kinetic Kill Vehicle up into space. And for the grand finale, this kill vehicle uses its own heat-seeking sensor to home in and just smash into the satellite at a staggering 10 kilometers per second. A truly incredible feat of engineering.
Okay, so that was the stick, a big, powerful stick. But remember, there's another side to this strategy. So now let's talk about the carrot and see how India is using space to build a totally different kind of power.
Just 2 years before they tested that satellite killer, India did something completely different. They launched this, the ASAT-9, which everyone started calling the South Asia satellite. Prime Minister Narendra Modi called it a gift to the neighborhood, a clear move to build friendships and push back against China's growing influence.
And what a gift. We're not talking about destruction here. We're talking about connection. This thing provides everything from TV and internet all the way to crucial support for disaster management and telemedicine. It's the polar opposite of an ASAT, a tool for cooperation, not conflict. The reception was, well, it was almost unanimous. Bangladesh, Bhutan, the Maldives, Nepal, Sri Lanka, they all jumped on board. But there was one major holdout, Pakistan. Now, they said it was because they wanted a joint project, not just a gift from India. It just goes to show you the deep-seated tensions that are always simmering in the background.
So you've got the stick and the carrot, a killer weapon and a diplomatic gift. But how does this dual strategy actually stack up against China's approach? This, right here, is where we get to the heart of the matter. It's not just about technology. It's a clash of philosophies. Okay, just take a look at these numbers from 2023. China, 67 launches. India, just 7. Now, at first glance, you might think, well, that's game over, right? No contest. But hold on, because those raw numbers are hiding what's really going on.
See, they're not even running the same race. China is playing a game of mass as insurance. They launch stuff constantly, experimenting fast, accepting that some will fail. The idea is to have so many satellites up there that if a few get knocked out, it's no big deal. India, on the other hand, is all about assurance before abundance. They focus on making every single launch count, building rock-solid, reliable satellites that are meant to last for years. One values quantity, the other values quality.
There's this great quote from an analyst, Girish Lingana, that just hits the nail on the head. He says that real space power isn't about how many rockets you launch. It's about what you can reliably put in orbit and count on when things get tough.
So we've got two totally different playbooks, two different races, but they're both being run on the same frontier. So what does all this mean for the future of space?
At the end of the day, this isn't your granddad's space race. It's not about planting a flag. It's a strategic showdown between two completely different ideas of what power looks like. China is betting big on scale and redundancy. India is betting on trust, reliability, and strategic partnerships.
And why should you care about any of this? Because, honestly, the stakes are huge. This affects everything from the risk of a war in space to who becomes the go-to partner for smaller countries needing help. It's about who wins the commercial launch business. It's setting the rules for how we'll all operate in this critical domain for decades to come.
So I'll just leave you with this to think about. As space gets more crowded and, let's face it, more contested, which strategy is going to win out in the end? The sheer overwhelming power of mass or the precision and reliability of the mission?